بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Some walk with the Quran in their pockets, others in their hearts. Quran is for our lives. It is for practicing. When reciting Quran, we've done the niyyah Baseerah, to have this vision for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to open up Quran. Basair linnas, hadha basairu min rabbikum. This Baseerah, this vision, what the scholars say, quwwatul idrak, the power, the capacity to absorb and to perceive what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to tell us. Al-Baseerah al-Ilm, it is the knowledge and the understanding. Others have said Al-Hujjah. Such information is relayed to you, such anwarat, that it is a proof for you where you practice on it. Others have said Al-Raqib, it makes you more aware. Others have said Al-Ibrah, you start taking lesson, and such a lesson where it is revolutionizing your life. Others have said Kullu mat tukhidha junnah, what you make as a shield for protection. So the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is such that it becomes a shield for one. So we should make a niyyah, Ya Allah, this Baseerah, whatever the scholars have said, give me that Baseerah. Ibn Qayyim in his Madarijus Salikin has mentioned an interesting explanation of Baseerah and the three types of Baseerah. Man istakmalaha faqad istakmala al-Baseerah. Whoever accomplishes this has achieved and perfected Baseerah. Number one, Baseeratun fil asma was sifat, with regards to the names and qualities of Allah. Al-Baseerah fil amr wa nahi, in enjoining and practicing in the commands of Allah and staying away from what is forbidden. Al-Baseerah fil wa'ad wal wa'id, vision in the promises and warnings which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. With regards to number one, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has described in His Zat and His Sifat, you accept it. Amantu billahi kama huwa bi asma'ihi wa sifatihi. So these qualities of Allah is true. Hayyun la yamut, Qayyumun la yanam, Alimun la yakhfa alayhi shay. So these sifat which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is described to have yaqeen in this sifat. وَهَذِهِ رُؤْيَةُ الْقَلْبِ, this is the vision of the heart. And ulama have said, Al-Mu'min as-Sadiq bi-Nur al-Baseerah, a true mu'min, a truthful mu'min who's got this nur of Baseerah, يَقْذِفُ اللَّهِ فِي قَلْبِهِ, Allah puts this light and this yaqeen in his heart of these sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second one is Al-Mu'min alladhi alqa fi qalbihi nur fara'a bihi al-haq haqqa, such nur where he sees the truth as truthful, wal batil batilan, and evil to be evil, falsehood to be false, and he does not get affected by habits, by environment, by his nafs. And the third one of wa'ad and wa'id, with regards to the promises, al-Baseerah allati tata'allaqu bil wa'ad wal wa'id an tashhad qiyam Allah ala kulli nafsin bima kasabat, that the decisions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and whatever occurs in good and bad, ajilan wa ajilan, immediately or in the future, fi daril amal wa daril jaza, whether it's in this life or in the year after, it is the decision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is because of Allah's permission That's all happens. To Allah's permission, amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi, everything, and qadr, the good and bad of it, and akhirat as well, reckoning, resurrection. So this nur which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts in a person's heart is as if they are seeing it. When ulama say it is that nur which Allah puts in the heart, then as if we are witnessing it. So as the words of certain Sahabah, if the hijab of Jannat and Jahannam are opened, our iman, mazdadna imana, our iman will increase. According to the Aarifeen, Al-Baseerah تحقق الانتفاع بالشيء والتدرر به. This Baseerah is such a vision where you know how to benefit. You can see, so in the real life you can differentiate between a stick and a snake. Likewise, you can differentiate what's good and bad and what's harmful for your life in this world and the year after. Others, or Arafah have said, Al-Baseerah ma khalasaka min al-hayra imma bi-iman wa imma bi-ayan. That a person is never surprised and caught off guard through the nur of iman and the vision which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him. So when you have this Baseerah, for example, if a person is told that he can see instead of 10 meters, 100 meters, 1,000 meters, so when he's driving on the road, how much will he drive? What's the chances of him meeting in an accident? Why his vision is more stronger? The stronger vision of akhirat, the lesser chance of meeting up in an accident. So this Baseerah gives a person a vision that not only he can see in this world 20 meters, is far-sighted, he sees 1,000 meters, he sees 2 kilometers, he sees 50 kilometers. Now you've got satellites where you can see, you can understand what the enemy is plotting, you can know what movements they are making, you know where your troops are. So the greater the vision, and that's what the world is after. How we can have visions, there are spy audio systems, spy satellite systems, spy cameras. So this vision is an advantage, it's needed. So Ya Allah, I'm making tilawat of your Quran, grant me this vision to see even akhirat, so I can build ad-dunya mazra'atul akhirah. This is a planting ground, so we need to know what to plant, we need to know what ground we have, we need to know what soil, we need to know what seeds, we need to know what seasons. How do we get this equation, the garden of Islam, right? So when a person has this vision, Quran and Hadith has opened up to him, then he'll know what to plant in this garden of Islam. But who's ready to plant? We don't even know. We have a garden to prepare. That's what somebody said beautifully. When you plant in this garden of Islam, plant 3 rows of peas with the dhikr of Allah. Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. The 3 peas, when you have this dhikr in your life, you'll have peace of mind, peace of heart, peace of ruh. Then you need to plant 4 rows of squash. Squash ghibat and gossip. Squash ikhtilaf and indifference. Squash anger, hatred. And number 4, squash selfishness. Then you need to plant 4 rows of lettuce. Let us be faithful to Allah. Let us be kind to humanity. Let us be patient on all difficulties. Let us really love one another for Allah's pleasure. Then in the garden you need also to complete it. There's no garden without turnips. Turn up for salah. Turn up for striving in Allah's path. Turn up to help each other when in need. Then if you want to finish this garden up, to finish its dashes, you need thyme. Thyme for Allah and His Rasul. Thyme for Qur'an and dhikr. Thyme for family. And your water for this garden is sacrifice. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. And you will cultivate it what? The love of Allah. أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. Drowning, intoxicated in a love of Allah. Then you will see the fruits in this garden, because whatever you sow, you will reap the benefits. So what Baseerah do I have? Likewise, ulama have mentioned that there are different darajat and levels of this Baseerah. Number one, Al-Khabr Al-Qayyim, tu'addihi yaqinan, that whatever you are reading, you are listening, you have yaqeen in that what Allah, His Rasul have said. You are mutma'in. Somebody comes and gives you information, there's a flood coming, and you're busy painting your house. You don't believe it, but when you hear the news on the radio, and there's warning signs, then you start preparing. You're busy in yourself, in painting the house. La khawf alayhi. You know the information is true, but if you don't believe the radio, you don't believe the warning signs, you'll carry on painting. They'll tell you there's 2 hours for the floods to hit you, tsunamis are coming. No, I have to paint my house. Secondly, أن تشهد في هداية الحق وإضلاله. A person understands that this ni'mah of hidayat is a great ni'mah, he is grateful for it, and he praises Allah that Allah has made him from the Ahl. This is an ihsan, that Allah has granted me hidayat, and Allah has saved me from dalalat. Since I have been granted hidayat, what should I do to show shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Number 3, such basirat that will give you ma'rifat wa tathbut al-ishara, that it will create wa tambut al-firasa, and it will increase this firasa and this vision of the believer, where a person gets the ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the heart opens up, not through sacrifice, not through dars and learning. Inna huwa, this firasat is fahmun yu'tihi Allah abdan. Allah gives a servant this ala qadri basirati qalbihi, according to the vision of your heart. And that's why in the hadith, Usaid Khudri radiyallahu anh, ittaqu firasat al-mu'min, beware of the vision of a believer. فَإِنَّهُ يَنْظُرُ بِنُورِ اللَّهِ, he sees with the vision of Allah. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِلْمُتَوَسِّمِينَ. This ayah was read as signs for those who are see. So the traces of destruction that are visible, when you see it, whether it's the mental capacity which Allah gives us, the spiritual, or even what the vision of the eyes, this is that phrase where a person can discern, according to Mujahid, those who have insight and the power to discern. The Dahhak has said, it refers to those who look, means you have this desire to find the truth. Qatadah says those who take lesson, those who ponder and take lesson. So how much lesson are we taking from Quran and Hadith? Firasat, ulama say there are 3 types. Imaniya, that's the nur which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts in a person's heart, that he can see bain al-haq wal-batil, truth and falsehood, sadiq wal-kadhib, the lies from the deception. Ibn Masood has said that afrasun nas, the most visionary people were 3. Al-Aziz fi Yusuf, when the Aziz seen Yusuf alayhi salam, and he told his wife, Akrimi mathwahu, honor him, he may benefit us, or we may make him a son. And the daughter of Shu'aib alayhi salam, when she told her father with regards to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, Ya abad istajir, inna khayra man istajarta al-qawiyyu al-amin. Ya, oh my father, employ him. The best of employers are those that are strong and trustworthy. And the third one was Abu Bakr when he made Umar ibn Khalifa. In another riwayat, wa imratu Fir'aun, the wife of Fir'aun, where she said, Qurratu aynin li walak, is the coolness of the eyes for us both. Don't kill him, he may benefit us, we may make him a son. So this Noor, وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُ نُورًا, Allah gives him that Noor, يَمْشِي بِهِ فِي النَّاسِ. Second firasa is riyadhah, where a person makes sacrifices. You see, people strive, whether they stay hungry, whether they stay awake at night. So it's riyadhiyah, where a believer and a non-believer can open up. And the last one is al-firasatul khalqiyah, where experience, person has a vision, like a doctor, a scientist, different people in different fields become experts and they have a vision. They can tell you based on their experience. So whatever the ma'ani are, we should make a niyyah to make tilawat of Quran. And a blocker which blocks this firasa is sins. It will destroy the Baseerah. Hakimul Rahimahumullah used to say that you need to fight the sin to achieve this noor. Even though we all by nature have this inclination to committing guna, we should oppose it vehemently. We should have this hatred for it. When the urge comes and you got an opportunity to do it, but you fight it, then he used to say the house of taqwa gets its lights. This taqwa gets this noor. And the result of taqwa becomes apparent by opposing these urges. So there's a mahram female, you got an urge to look, there's a website, there's you just one swipe and you're done. Don't put a full stop. My Allah is watching, the farishtas are watching. Put a full stop to it. Now you will eliminate this desire and it will be weakened. This nafs becomes weak, shaitan becomes weak. Otherwise sin looks delicious outside. You tried it once, you're gone. Two friends were walking, they seen an expensive piece of leather in the water. The one said, go swim. I jumped in and swam. Started drowning. His friend said, leave the leather, forget it. Just leave it. He said, I'm trying to leave it. It's not leaving me. It wasn't a piece of leather, it was a bear. Guna, when you go for it, doesn't leave you. You thought so, it's one time only. Doesn't leave you. So such levels of ma'asiyat has become common with this tech and technology. You cannot believe it. Youngsters who have made the occupation finding women that are affluent and make them predators. They fall in love. Oh, this youngster has fallen in love with me. He's not fallen in love with you. He's there to extort you. Likewise, men who take young girls as mistresses. Nowadays it's common, sugar daddy, looking for the ideal sugar. But this world is not a place of sugar. Somebody is a sugar baby, someone's a sugar mama. All looks sweet, but before the storm there's calm. Somebody sees a well-dressed bride, but he sees her from the back, goes to grab her and she's got a dagger. Let's go now. So we have no skill in deen, we've not dedicated our lives to deen, we've not made it our focus. In business, I'm an expert. In my profession, I'm an expert. In everything else, in gardening, I'm an expert. In my cars, I'm an expert. In my sports, I'm an expert. In deen, I claim I'm an expert, but I'm far from that. Very far from that. Like they say in the olden days, the samurai warriors were very rare, so the emperor was looking for one. So from all the applicants, they downsized to 3, a Japanese, Chinese and Jewish. So Japanese warrior came, he said, show me what you can do. So he released a fly from a matchbox, and with his sword, he sliced the fly into. The emperor said, wow, wow, very good, excellent. Next person, the Chinaman came, he released a fly in from the matchbox and he swiped his sword twice. And he chopped the fly into 4 pieces. The emperor was impressed. He said, brilliant, excellent. The Jew realized, hey, you know what, I don't have a skill for this. I'm in the wrong tournament. So he also released a fly from a matchbox. He waved his sword a lot of times, but the fly moved around in the room. The Emperor said, the fly is not dead. The Jew said, maybe not, but if you look closely you will see it has been circumcised. It has been circumcised. So we show we got skill of deen, but there's no skill of deen. The doors of ma'asiyat are open. Nabi alayhi salam warned, كَيْفَ أَنْتُمْ إِذَا طَغَى نِسَاؤُكُمْ, when your women will be disobedient, وَفَسَّقَ شَبَابُكُمْ, and your youth will be fusaq and flagrantly violating Allah's commands, وَتَرَكْتُمْ جِهَادَكُمْ, you will leave striving Allah's path. قَالُوا وَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ لَكَائِنٌ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ, will that ever happen? وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ وَأَشْهَدُ مِنْهُ سَيَكُونُ. Was, well, wasn't it happen? كَيْفَ أَنْتُمْ إِذَا لَمْ تَأْمُرُوا بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَلَمْ تَنْهَوْا عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. You don't enjoy good, you don't forbid evil. A parent would not give their 3-year-old child a gun filled with ammo. Why do we give them cell phones? Why do we allow them things when we know the destruction? Go on holiday, enjoy yourself. How much money do you need? Here's the car. Saturday night, enjoy yourselves. Would you ever leave your young child in a lion cage? Even though you are a tamer, you've tamed him and the lions are tamed. Will it ever happen? نعم والذي نفسي بيدي وأشهد منه سيكون. Was, what can be worse than that? كيف أنتم إذا رأيتم المعروف منكرا ورأيتم المنكر معروف. You say good as evil, evil as good. Deen has become a burden. Quran is a burden. Na'udhu billah. Salat, striving Allah's path, going to madrasa. We students of Deen. وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ. Women posting the pictures, their profiles. Should not display your beauties for your husband. It's for you and Allah. You tell them, who are you? If you break Allah's command, it shouldn't be Allah breaks us. People say, oh, I'm just doing dawah. I'm doing dawah in the name of deen. If we need to do dawah, then the door of dawah can open up. So the youth, the ummat is worry and concern. Wearing gold chains, silk, youngster. Same-sex marriages, homosexuality, all of it has been promoted. Islam warned us. وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا, don't follow shaitan. لَا بَحْثَنَّ عَلَيْهِمْ فِتْنَةً, fitnas will come. نَقَمًا وَبَلَاءً, you'll see other punishments. Your intelligent will wonder what's happening. You'll see floods, you'll see tsunamis, you'll see hurricanes, you'll see earthquakes. You'll see all of this. وَأَشَدُّ مِنْهُ سَيَكُونَ. You tell the child don't go near the pool, but he still goes. Right? They don't have the shu'ur. Allah has warned us. People going to the sea, there's a thing called rip currents. It can destroy your life, it can take you in. But in the sea, we don't see it. In the sea of life, do we see Allah and His Rasul? The amal for today is, Sahabah told Nabi of Allah that the mu'adhins have surpassed us in reward. قُلْ كَمَا يَقُولُونَ فَإِذَا أَنْتَيْتَ فَسَلْ تُعْطَى. Say what the mu'adhin says, then make dua, your dua will be accepted. So to repeat the words when the adhan goes, stop everything and reply to the adhan. May Allah give us tawfiq of making amal. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.